Next time you are, sitting in a sports bar staring at one of those massive video walls, you probably assume there is some kind of NASA-level supercomputer running the whole thing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it looks incredibly complex.
Right. But we're looking at a source sheet today for the WolfPack 4K 30Hz 2x2 HDMI video wall controller from HDTV Supply. And it turns out that supercomputer is just a $300 metal box.
Yeah, just a basic, unassuming box.
So welcome to today's deep dive, where our mission is demystifying exactly how these massive multi-screen displays actually work. Okay, let's unpack this. I kind of think of this controller as a digital traffic cop.
A digital traffic cop is actually a great way to put it. And I mean, not just any traffic cop. It is taking a massive 4-lane highway of dense 4K video data and perfectly routing one lane to each of the 4 separate 1080p screens.
So it's making sure no pixels crash into each other, basically.
Exactly, because 4K maps perfectly onto 4 1080p grids, mathematically. The processor does not have to do any messy downscaling.
Oh, so it just slices the data evenly?
Right, yeah. You get a crisp, complete picture divided into perfect quadrants without losing any quality.
But pushing that massive 4K highway of data through standard copper wires, that has to come with some physical limits, right?
Oh, for sure.
Because I actually noticed the spec sheet mandates that the input cable from the video source maxes out at 8 meters. And the output cables to the screens, those cannot go past 10 meters.
Yeah, that is purely about signal attenuation.
Signal attenuation.
Yeah, when you try to push high-bandwidth HDMI signals over long distances, the data packets just start to degrade.
So you get those visual artifacts or like screen flickering.
Exactly, or even a total signal drop. So those strict physical limits ensure the data arrives flawlessly at the screen, without needing active signal boosters to amplify the feed.
Wait, let me push back on another spec here, though. The 30 hertz refresh rate.
Okay, yeah.
Isn't 30 hertz a bit slow? Like if this box is sitting in a sports bar showing fast-paced football, a low refresh rate like that is going to look, well, a little choppy compared to the standard 60 hertz we are used to on our TVs.
It is, yeah. That is the classic trade-off of budget audio-visual hardware.
Right.
Because processing a massive 4K image and splitting it perfectly at 60 frames per second requires, significantly more computing power.
And I imagine a lot more heat dissipation, too.
Way more. Capping the refresh rate at 30 hertz keeps the internal components cheap and cool.
Which is exactly how they hit that $299 price point.
Spot on. For standard digital signage or typical bar broadcasts, it is an acceptable compromise for the cost.
Okay, but at $300, my first instinct is that this is just a dumb hardware box.
Right.
Usually we want smart, software-driven devices with an app or an interface that is highly customizable. Why rely on a rigid plug-and-play hardware design instead of a modern operating system?
Well, think about a commercial environment like a high-stakes teaching setup or a super busy restaurant.
Yeah.
In those places, software is actually a liability. A pure hardware design guarantees stability.
Oh, I see. Because you don't want a background app crashing.
Exactly. Imagine a Windows is updating screen popping up right in the middle of a Super Bowl touchdown.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be an absolute disaster for a sports bar.
Right. Hardware does not crash like an OS. It just runs.
Which I guess explains the 3.5 millimeter audio extraction port on the back.
It does, yeah.
Because it pulls the audio straight out of the HDMI stream before it even hits the screens.
Yeah, because commercial video wall monitors generally do not have built-in speakers. Or, if they do, they sound terrible.
Right, so you have to separate the audio from the video feed and route it directly to a dedicated house amplifier.
Exactly. Having that analog extraction port built directly into the hardware ensures steady sound fed to the house speakers.
So 0 software routing glitches to interrupt the broadcast.
Precisely.
So if we step back, think about what a $300 box like this actually represents for the average person.
Yeah, it is a massive democratization of audiovisual technology.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if we connect this to the bigger picture, like a decade ago, creating a seamless 2x2 video wall required thousands of dollars.
Thousands of dollars, specialized processing racks, and a dedicated IT team to keep it from failing.
And now?
Now, that exact same result is achieved by anyone who just knows how to plug in an HDMI cable.
Which is wild. It really shifts the power from the commercial AV specialist directly to the everyday consumer.
Completely.
Which makes me wonder about our own living rooms.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, as this video wall hardware becomes this cheap, this reliable, and this user-friendly, will we eventually stop dropping thousands of dollars on massive 80-inch TVs?
Well, the future of home entertainment might not be buying one giant, fragile pane of glass.
Right. It could simply be snapping together smaller, cheaper, modular screens.
Yeah.
Like digital Lego bricks.
Huh.
You just build your own custom Franken-screen to fit your living room perfectly.
That is a very real possibility.
And all you will need is a trusty $300 digital traffic cop to keep the pixels flowing. So just something to think about the next time you're staring at the wall at your local sports bar.